which is architectural design pattern used in real time to develop applications based on different approaches, different technologies, different services. The architecture will be changing. So overall, three layers I drawn here in a overview. This layer is model, this layer is controller, this layer is view. The rules of MVC is controller only must take the request. That is a rule. Controller only must take the request. Controller should not give the response. It should provide the response separately, separate layer known as view. We call it as a presentation layer. Background to these two layers, one layer available known as model layer. Actually, where that data organization is going on, data holding, data manipulating, data changing, data retrieving, or linking to some services, that all things happened in the model layer, the background layer before database. So that model layer internally we can categorize into three parts. One is services part, one is business logic part, one is DAO part. So anyway, this term you have been used for you many times. DAO means data access object layer, where you know JDBC, based on the remaining travel, remaining components will come. So this kind of architecture, we call it as MVC architecture. Whatever the projects we do in the real-time market, the projects will follow this layer. Means controller, they maintain separate, model, they maintain separate, view, they maintain separate. That kind of presentation, we call it as MVC presentation. You people sitting in advanced Java, core and advanced. Sir, according to advanced Java, I am web application developer. Whenever I want to present my web application, that only web architecture models are written, if not web application architectures. In the process of constructing one web application, for you, two models are available. One is model 1 architecture, one is model 2 architecture. In the model 1, P will take the request. JSP will give the response. Request and response. JSP will be the responsible for developing this application. JSP will take the request. JSP only will give the response. JSP in the background, it will control DAO, data access object. It controls where this DAO interacts with the database. Through DAO, the database is connected. The connection is here. To hold some data, we are using beans. We are using to hold some data. We are using bean objects. We are using more number of beans available means we are using JCF. We are using. So this all background layer. Before database, this is one layer. That is one layer. Now this layer will be under the control of JSP. JSP only will control this layer. JSP will control bean. JSP will control DAO. JSP will control Java collection framework object. In the process of organizing the data, We can use a single bean or group of beans. To accommodate group of beans, we are using collection framework object. That's the theory. All of you clear about this statement? Right. This model, we call it as say. They'll ask in the interview, only JDBC architecture. This is model 1 architecture where JSP, where servlet is not available. Everybody should have this diagram, easy only. Nothing is there. Only servlet is missing there. JSP is known as a controller. JSP is the controller. Total controlling is done by the JSP. JSP is the controller. JSP is the controller, right? Now let me explain this one down. If anybody drawing, draw it and keep it. In interview, you must draw it and show if they asked. Model 1 architecture, where web application developers will use this architecture in presenting any application. Because we came to nearer already. The model 1 architecture was the first development model used to develop web applications. This model uses JSP to design applications and which is responsible for all the activities and functionalities provided by the application. Whatever the application functionality, what are the application activities, all will be under the control of JSP. Means JSP is the controller. The history says like this, and generally our language came into market by 95, you know already. So slowly it grown and came. I said already, if any language want to become a popular, the language should enter into university. Whenever it enters into university only, many engineers or students will be connected, because students are the next employees. You only know who will be the employees, means you only. So maximum people will be connected through universities only. So our Java language also came into university by 98, 99 it came. 99 around it came, 98, 99 it came. So on that day, server coding not available, just standalone applications only available. Many people don't know GUI components also on that day. You know the technology in 90s means who knows it? Nothing. Technology is very less. Mail ID is also not there for the one. If any student is there, no mobile phone, no mail ID, no internet world first. So they don't have that kind of today's technology different, 90s technology different. On that day, if any student going to one college means parent has to wait until he come home. He cannot contact, no message, nothing will be there. No communications with one person on that day. So internet world is very less nearer to one student on that day. But on that day, your Java entered into university around 99, 98, 99. Slowly, this JSP said that I'll make your application more flexible to convert as an web application. Whenever you want to develop web internet related applications, JSP says that you can develop that web application more simple with JSP, because JSP hold HTML code and Java code. Flexibility is very high. That is called model 1 architecture. Later on, servlet entered. Servlet is there in the JSP. Yesterday, one student from Uspania actually. One student from Uspania BTech final year passed out. I asked him, he asked some question and I asked him, in which semester you have advanced Java? I asked. He said, I don't have advanced Java. He said, I don't have advanced Java paper, sir. He said, without advanced Java, which engineer is releasing today? One CS engineer, he never comes out. I took his syllabus. I asked him to show his syllabus because my interest that, because I want to check student background, who is coming to me. Because next year students are Corona students. Yes or no? 2024 passed out students are easily passed their intermediate and coming. Their direct examination passed out, no examination. That is called Corona students are coming next. Regular going only, we are not understanding. Corona students, what they will understand? 2 years gap there, and online classes students are there. For them, base will not be there. Sir, 16 years I studied only, base not there, sir, for me. In between one online class, sir, sitting at home and writing, disconnecting off internet, directly passing, sir, without writing examination. Such students comes, how can you make their students in three months efficient code writer and getting 12 lakhs? Is it possible? So 4 months, I must become an efficient code writer and I want to earn 8 lakhs to 9. Definitely strain and stress will be there. I asked him, advanced Java there? I mean, he said, not there, sir. He said, my interest that. Then I asked to show your syllabus. I scrolled his syllabus. In final year, 4.1, web technologies paper is there. In that paper, the syllabus is there. Means he don't know the syllabus is there. He completed his final year and came out. Understood the statement what I'm speaking? Understood the statement? He don't know there is one servlet programming available. Name changed there. Advanced Java is a word used in the real-time market. Understood the statement what I'm speaking? They'll use web technology, they'll say. Servlet is web technology. JSP is web technology. JDBC is web technology, they'll say. Sir, advanced Java not there, sir, you say. And why what I'm speaking now means servlet not entered into web application first. JSP came. JSP, why it came means more simple. Sir, HTML code I am writing, Java code I am writing. That's called Model 1 architecture. Later on, what happened is, in 2001, 2002, 2003, this internet world slowly started growing and coming. In that period, this applet programs, swing programs, lot more GY components started growing and coming. When they are growing and coming, see there. Limitations in Model 1. Because the JSP programmer must write both. He only must take the data. See there, architecture. He only must take the request. He only must see the request. He has to take the data. He has to send the data to DAO. Through DAO, he has to construct the beans. He has to load the data to the beans. On demand, he has to construct the collection framework. He has to collect the data. Again, he has to present the data. Means every code is available in the JSP. Load is very high or not now? See there. Limitation. Applications are inflexible and difficult to maintain. A single change in one page may cause changes in other pages, leading to unpredictable results. Leading to unpredictable means all code is available there only, no? In core Java also, you asked me a question. When I am writing a subclass, sir, if I write in main class, what happens? And you must not write. Maintenance problem will be there. If you write subclasses, which class you want, that only will come. Understood statement? You also attending 4 or 5 batches, no? If your hostel is nearer here, you'll go and drop Java books and you'll bring Oracle book, no? Understood now? You'll drop that Oracle book and you'll bring your HTML book, no? Which one you want, you are carrying that only, no? Roughly, I'm speaking it out. That only. Here, all are inside means maintenance cost will be increased. If the changes occurred in UI, it affects the servlet code, not servlet, Java code. Java changes, it affects UI code like this. Inflexible, difficult to maintain. Involves the developer at both the page development and the business logic implementation stage. He only should concentrate on both presentation, controlling, and maintaining the next layer activity also. He only should think and write it. Increases complexity of program with the increase in the size of a JSP page. Because of that reason only, In 2004, that period, this testing units came, UI unit came, because the load is very high on the developer. Developer only must do everything 20 years back. So he said, load is very high. When the load is there, mistakes also will be there. When the pressure is there, mistake will be there. So they divided that. UI engineer, you do presentation. DB engineer, you do construction of your tables. Like this, they divided. Testing engineer came, because cross check it. If a developer is doing one work, at the ending, same results are coming or not, you cross check it. One testing unit came. Like this, it has been distributed. In the distribution part only, model 2 architecture came. This model 2 architecture says that view separate, data parts separate, business logics separate, services separate, TAOs separate, controller separate, everything you keep separate. Advantage, if any change occurred in the view, it will not affect the remaining two layers. If any change occurred in the DAO part, it will not affect your controller part and view part. Like this, to make limited changes, they brought this MVC concept. Moreover, when the internet growth is very high, security also needed. JSP cannot provide securities. Servlet can provide with filter, listener, and lot more possibilities are there with the Servlet. Then the Servlet entered into model 2 architecture. Why I written 3 programs for 2 days? I written JSP1, JSP2, JSP3. In that 3 programs, Servlet not there. JSP only taking the request, JSP only giving the response. So the 3 programs, you can call it as model 1 architectural model, because JSP only controlling the application. There are 3 programs that only, because I maintain the 3 programs in your document. All of it clear, right? So model 2 architecture came. See there, this model 2 architecture is like this. Daily I used to draw it. Sir, model 2. In the model 2, web browser. Web browser. Again, user and client. Right. Daily I'm writing here. Controller. First one is controller. Controller. Second one is view. This is view. Sir, this is view. For us, controller means Servlet. 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 View means JSP. Controller will take the request. Like this. See there. They divided 2 separately first. First, their target is to that view layer they removed. From developer hands, they removed view. Means Java developer, full stack Java developer. Difference that only. Java developer will do control. Full stack Java developer will do both. Understood the statement now? Full stack, you'll do both. I'll do Servlet code. I'll do you also. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, React. I only will do, he will say. Full stack. Understood the statement now? Now, first day, the developer is, I'll do controlling, means only Java codes I will write. presentations, somebody has to construct for me, I'll bind it. Somebody has to give the input screens, I'll use it. Like this, your view layer is a separate. Presentation can be given by UI engineer also. That codes you will take it and you will bind it. So here controller separate, view separate. In the background, DAO only. One DAO. I am highlighting Java collection framework also. I am highlighting. Why I am highlighting JCF means for ORMs. I am highlighting. And I trained beans here. So beans. And services I not trained, but services layer is available here. External services can be linked. This total layer, you can say model, you can say. Where your database is connected. That bean class and beans what I introduced to you. Next layer, people will use Pojo objects, Pojo classes, this kind of terms they'll use it. Understood now, right? Who are using the term at the ending? Once a framework completed, ask him to write one definition. What is the difference between Pojo object and bean object? You can ask. Lastly, you can collect that information. Right? Okay. Nothing but one object. These are object, that also object. Anyway, understood statement, right? So why am this diagram is our web application model, this one. In web application model here, in my hand, servlet is there, JSP is there, and DAO is there in my hand. So based on that, I drawn the diagram. This one I'm calling it as JSP MVC, I'm saying. Model to architecture, we can call it as what now? JSP MVC means I'm using JSP for the presentation layer. That's the meaning. So this is the architecture where this layer will be under the control of it. Again, your next framework trainers will draw Spring MVCs. They'll draw. Again, they'll draw the MVC. MVC concept is model separate, view separate, data part separate. Means your controller separate. That layer will be under the control of a controller. Servlet only will take the decision what data I want to send to the JSP. What data I must send to the JSP, Servlet only will take the decision. And Servlet only will give the access permissions for the JSP. JSP is only view. It is a presentation. So why we selected JSP? Sir, flexibility is very high. As a code writer, I can write Java code and HTML code together. I can write it. So this one, model 2 architecture, you can say. First model 1 came, immediately model 2 came. Model 2 means a servlet available. Model 2 architecture. Architecture. You can say JSP MVC, you can say. You can say, why I'm using a name JSP MVC means next Spring MVC will come. For you, Spring MVC will come. So until it comes from advanced Java, it is a JSP MVC, you can say. Right. Now let me read this once. For us, controller means what now? Servlet. View means what now? JSP. Model means you say beans. Model means what now? Beans. Model means data. Data organizations, you can call it as model. For in the JSP MVC, what is model means bean objects, you can say. All of understand now. To organize that bean objects, to connect to the database, we use DAO. More number of beans are coming, we use JCF. I not yet connected to any external services, but I kept a box there for services, web services or your microservices. What are the external services are going to enter? It will be a part of model. Let me read it now here. See there. The drawbacks in the model 1 architecture led means given scope to the introduction of new model called model 2. Drawbacks means this one only. Application inflexibility and so on. The model 2 architecture was targeted at overcoming the drawbacks of model 1 and helping developers to design more powerful web applications. And this model 2 architecture is based on MVC design model. MVC means standard model. Based on that only model 2 came, they'll say. Now, MVC stands for model view controller. Model, view and controller. See there. Model means what? According to our JSP MVC, what is model? Represents enterprise data and business rules that specify how data is accessed, updated, and which is generally implemented by using what now? Java beans. Enterprise data, enterprise term itself business only. Based on the request only, the data will be filtered. Based on the data request only. Always I used to keep show no always. I want to see the trains from Secunderabad to Tirupati. Based on that request only, the data will come. So the business logic means based on that, we retrieve the data and hold it. So that is called enterprise data. Enterprise itself represents business mode. Java beans represent model. According to advanced Java, according to JSP MVC, what is model means Java beans. Because of this reason, without a bean object, no program is available in my book. You can check it. Not needed also I written beans. Observe or not now? To sir, no need to hold the data in the product, sir. You can pass request and send the product. But even then, I loaded the data to product. You can see my book, right? So I kept the highest priority for beans because I must show this model part. Sir, view means what? Shows you people are one advantage to you. Under view, you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular management given. My suggestion, be strong in JavaScript. Some companies are hiring based on JavaScript, they are hiring, right? Okay. So JavaScript time is there, practice it. So under view, you know, 4 UI technologies, you know, plus you know JSP tags, plus JSP, you know. What is the difference between UI engineer and Java means? What UI engineer knows, I also know, sir. But I can write Java code in the UI page. He cannot write, no, sir. That is your advantage. Understood statement now? So, sorry, he knows HTML. I also know he is a UI full stack people. He knows HTML. I know HTML. He knows CSS. I know CSS. He knows JavaScript. I know JavaScript. He knows Angular. I know Angular. Of course, up to there, you both are same. One advantage for you is, sir, I know how to write Java program in HTML page, that only .jsp. He don't know, no, sir. Because I suggested you, if time is there, update React. Of course, immediately you can dominate your engineer. No, you need, he comes up to there only, no. Because I suggested you, if possible is there, sit and learn React. When you put a profile, you are equivalent to UI and you are sitting on his head also, you know Java code. That is called full stack. You are sitting on his head, no. That's the point. Because I suggested you to update it. That only you see there. Shows contents of a model. Means view means presentation, no? Right. It is going to present the data from the model. Presenting the data from the model. Model means beans, no? Beans means data. Because bean means one object. Object is holding the data. Because in the core Java, I'll write object is a storage, I will write. That is the reason. Today, that storage became one model to you. From that model, you are showing the data. You are not showing the data from the database. Database data came to beans. From beans, you are showing the data. Shows the content of a model. The view component accesses enterprise data through model component. Same point I repeated. And specifies how data should be presented. And this view component is designed by what now? JSP. So how it should be presented, you will write it. You asked me now already, sir, output is color not coming, sir, means now you can present color because HTML tag already available there. You can put a color. So how it should be presented? And you are going to design with what now? JSP. When you are writing a JSP, wherever you want, you can write HTML. When the HTML is there, you can write CSS. HTML, CSS is there, you can write JavaScript. Wherever HTML, CSS, JavaScript is there, you can write Angular. That is the flexibility, the other given to you. That is view. All of you understood model and view according to JSP MVC, right? Now comes to controller. Controller duty is to receive HTTP request. Your duty is to receive the request. Request must not be taken by the JSP. Response must not be given by the servlet. Today's program, what I am typing to you from today, in the servlet program, print writer, set content type will not be there because it should not give the response. JSP has to give the response. So you should not give it. Controller receives HTTP request. I repeated, the controller component receives request from a client. After receiving the request, determines the business logic to be performed. Means after seeing the request, it will decide it, what we are going to do. That all I planned before layout, no? First of all, I am giving a plan, no? What we are going to do. Based on that only logic you are writing or not now. So determines the business logic to be performed. After deciding what we are going to do, delegates means movement delegates the responsibility for producing the next page of the user interface to an appropriate view component. Means after deciding what we are going to do, we are going to send one message through UI component. Means what? UI component should be under the control of servlet. That's why I said one statement to you. Servlet programmer by default JSP programmer. In this building also you don't know, but I know. In this building, in third floor, one institute is to be. One institute is there some 10 years back. That institute is popular for JSP. Only JSP it is popular. Not 10 years, 15 years back. It's very popular. That other also, person also I know that, right? He is a popular for JSP. Only JSP he is to execute. Under it is popular. When this internet securities has been increased, JSP cannot withstand because JSP security will not be there. Definitely, large scale applications you cannot develop with model 1. So then slowly servlet entered, JSF entered, struts entered. Today Spring entered, the institute also vanished. Means what? JSP also not there, that institute also not there. Means what? JSP only view that should be under the control of servlet. That only. See there. Next phase of user interface to an appropriate view component means view component should be under the control of controller. The controller has complete control over each view. Means what you are sending, that your servlet will decide it, implying that any change in the model component immediately reflected to all the views of application. The meaning, the servlet says that the user will be waiting in the foreground, no? Means in the front he will be waiting for the response. what response you are giving, each response should be under my control. That only servlet says. Because servlet says, I know what happens in the model. If any change occurred, immediately servlet will give a changes to JSP and send it. So controller is a servlet. Because of this reason, later on, web application, you can call it as servlet application because servlet is the controller. Without servlet, web application not there. All of understood statement. This advanced Java today live because of servlet only. Because of servlet only, we are live. JDBC, no problem. JSP, no problem. But servlet information you should have. Your companies will ask questions on the servlet also. Web application, other name is servlet application. The controller component is implemented by servlets. All of you understood JSP, MVC, right? Model, Java beans, view, JSP, controller, servlets. Of course, more advantages are there for us. More advantages are there. Allows use of reusable software components. Advantage of MVC is all are separate, no, we can reuse them. DAOs can be reused, beans can be reused, like this services can be reused. Like this, we can reuse the components, more flexible, allows use of reusable software components to design business logic. Therefore, these components can be used in the business logic of other applications. They can be reused. Offers great flexibility to the presentation logic, which can be modified without affecting the business logic. The meaning, suppose UI technologies came with new technology, easily you can add for the UI without affecting the application. That is a more flexibility. You know already UI also, daily for them, one number will come, Angular 9, Angular 10, Angular 11. I don't know what is the version they are running now. So they also come with one numbers or not now, some versions. When the versions has been changed now, they can add that to UI technology, view very easily. That's a flexibility. All of you understood this JSP, MVC? Say yes or no to me now, right? So your status today is, sir, UI technology 4 I know, database 1 I know, and I know how to run one Java program under server environment. Means I know JDBC to connect to database. I know servlet to have a control over the web application. And I know JSP tags. Only one pending is I must link that servlet and JSP. I must link today. How this servlet is sending control to JSP. That will I stopped it. Okay, right. Down. These are the object forms you had it. The total summary of objects in servlet and JSP. Total objects I written here already. Before coming to JSP, I written this. See how many are there? 9. 9 objects are available. JSP objects. One minute. Nine objects. So this extension not needed because already you written that. This names you must know. Right. Look here once. These are core Java objects. These are JDBC objects. These are servlet objects. These are JSP objects. Among this JSP, all I not used still. Okay, right. You used only request. You used only out. You used your exception. Whenever you used out, used response. Remaining all you not used. But you must know the names. These are the objects. The objects. Because who is traveling from core and advanced, you must know how many are from core, how many are from JDBC, how many are from servlet, how many are from JSP, you must know. Next, you are learning Spring also. Each module you must know. How many specific objects are coming, you must know. How many specific objects are coming, you must have a list. Like this, whatever you learned in the Java domain, you must write all that objects and you must list it. Okay, right. It's my duty part of core and advanced that the objects journey going on. All above objects information is there. Here only 4 objects information is there. Remaining all not available. I'll reveal them. Right. This is. Now can I write one application? Yes or no to me? Right. Okay. So above 3 programs, last 2 days, they are examples of only JSP, how to write it. That tags also used in model 1 architecture. If you develop one application with model 1, that action tags will play a role. Whenever you are writing with servlet and JSP combination, all tags we may not use. Only few tags we are going to use it. It's a theory. Now, I am taking the project name as JSP MVC. I will take it. JSP MVC. I will take it. Right. Already program is there. I'll copying and I'll be modifying and coming. Right. Okay. See there. Stop the Tomcat. One tag is pending, tag LAB. After that, a few applications, 3-4 days, few applications we are modifying and coming. Any pending is there, we do that work all. And last tag is tag LIB. One direct tag is pending, tag LIB. The tag LIB is EL and JSTL. The 2 sessions it takes. That's separate. Last conclusion that is. Right. Here, I am taking one project. Not project. Dynamic web project. JSP MVC I am taking. Click on finish. Right click. Build path. Configure build path. Add external jars. Servlet API. Now, under LIB, you take this HTTP session application. Here, OJDBC 6. Copy and paste. Right. This is now. Under this HTTP session, do you remember HTTP session on that day? Admin login, user login. Right. Here, home.html is there. Home.html is there. I'm copying this. Whatever I copy here, I'm writing home.html. I'm writing. You also write the names and keep it, because if I forget to copy any file, you can remember me, unless the program will not run. Okay, right. Just names. I'll explain them slowly, because if I show existing one, confusion may come. I'm filtering and loading and I'm connecting JSP. First, you have to get an idea how you are connecting JSP. Once that idea comes, we can do, because many things you've done already. One idea came. I want to give that clarity, but I'm reusing the component. Only difference is already I spent some time in writing that application. So some components, whatever I want, I'm reusing them. So to save the time, that's my intention. Okay, right? Home.html, I'm trying to copy home.html into web app, paste. Whatever you copy, you open that and cross check available in the web app or not. Okay, right? Here we are having user login.html, admin login.html. We constructed admin login.html. To remember, there one delete operation is there. I asked you to do it. That's a status for you. User login I not constructed. I asked you to construct your own. I said I'll construct with my JSP. I said. So now I'm constructing user login with JSP. All of you got this information, right? How I am connecting, you observe it. Then slowly go home. Admin login, each code is there for you. You develop as a responses into JSP and come. That's a practice. That's a practice. Okay, right? Now I'm taking user login.html. Whether I constructed user login or not, I'll check it out. Sir, user login available here. I constructed on the day user login.html. So copy that. So second file I'm copying as user login dot html. I'm constructing user login.html. Right click on user login, copy here web app and paste user login.html. Okay. So registration process I'm not doing because the code is there with you already. Yes or no? Na? Right. Okay. Now here I asked you to take one table form on that day. I asked you to take one table form on that day. When I'm typing HTTP session, how you observed? Here also I written my notes manual, I typed and came. How you observed or not? No, everything. Last JSP only I copied it because that is not needed. I copied. Remaining all I typed slowly and came. Right. Each one I typed. My intention will be like this only. No need to learn all. I made this statement to you. Whatever you learn, you must be leader of it. Read that. Remember that statement. If you learn something, you must learn completely. That's called learning. Okay, right. My intention that only whatever I am writing, students should understand that because I'll be typing that lines slowly. On the day, whenever I'm writing HTTP session to you, HTTP session, I asked you to create two tables. One is user tab, one is admin tab. This one in HTTP session, right? User tab and admin tab. This is user tab and admin tab. Whether I created this table or not, let me cross check once. User tab 52. Java P. Why Java P? Right. User tab. User table 52. Okay, I created. Select star from user table 52. No rows. Let me insert it. Okay, right. Insert. Typing here, it will be easy for me. Insert into user tab 52. Username, no, right. All values, very good. Here, flexibility is that we can edit it. Always I'll keep this only because I can remember it. For me, mind will not work actually. And now you, after this class, you speak it, I will not remember. Whenever I class all is there, I'll remember. Remaining all, I'll forget it. Morning, I worked with the spring program application and came morning 9 to 9:30, 10:30. I worked and came. There's some application, our task I took it. I developed and given to one company. So after that, I'll forget it. If you ask it again, I'll get confused. MJ, do you? Because this is very easy to remember for me, right? I will not forget my name. No, I'll give my name here. Right. Right. What is there now? Username, password, first name, last name, address. Right. Next what now? Mail ID. You write v@gmail.com. Next what? Phone number 12345679898898 So 12345677. Anything I'm missing? Where? Insert into user tab 52 values. Okay. User tab 52. Anyway, it is there. Exit, come out. So table is ready. So user login.html also you copy it. Right. After user login.html, remaining codes are not available. We must type it. Because remaining all related to admin only, no? These are all related to admin or not now, right? So here we can copy DB connection, we can copy. We can copy DB connection, you can copy. Sir, copy that DB connection, you copy, sir. DB connection dot Java, you copy. So here, under Java resources, new and package test. Click on finish. Take DB connection here. Copy and paste here. This is DB connection. DB connection. So anyway, you are learning Spring JDBC also, your trainer will give it. Okay, right. Now, so DB connection is ready. Now, this is user login. No, we go with the user bean. You create one user bean. Their admin bean, here it is user bean. So right click on test, new class. I am taking one user bean. Import java.io. Here implements from serializable. Here private string username, password, first name, last name, address, mail ID, and private long ph number. So public user bean source generate getter and setter. This is One bean is ready anyway. Over. So these are the components I copied to you anyway. Okay, right. Now see, sir, what is happening means here. When the web application deployed, I am using context. We are visualizing the context. I'll take a separate one. I will take it. Right. So first I am imagining one context. SERVLET, servlet context. On demand, I am going to use this context. Context will have one address and JSP will give one name for it. What is the name of it now? Application. Yes or no? Na? So this object is a shared object. Remember the statement. Context object is only one object for web application. Servlet can use it. JSP also can use it. In interview, they'll ask a question also. Is there any object shared by both servlet and JSP? Means two objects. One HTTP session, one servlet context. So I drawn context. Implicit name is application. If a servlet keep any data in that context, JSP can access. Using that up, there is a flexibility, it has it. Okay, right. Now, control will come to, so the first page is home.html. The first one is home.html. My intention is servlet JSP. I'm going to show the diagram. Now request is for servlet and response is from JSP. That all I'm going to show it. Okay, right. Already you know the 99% pattern you know. Only print writer PW is equal to res.getWriter. Part of a servlet will not be there. The control will come to JSP. That's only difference. Now here two possibilities are there for us. Sir, under home.html, we had user login and admin login is there. User login and admin login is there. Today's target is user login. Already admin login diagram is there for you. The control will come to admin login servlet. The control will come to admin login, user login servlet. Login, user login dot HTML, not servlet. The control will come to user login dot HTML. The control will come. When the control comes to user login dot HTML, here we are reading one username and password. Sir, we are reading one username. Password MZU672. Here submit button is there. Login. Login. Here action is equal to, I given user, I think. User I given. Now from here, control will come here. From here, the control will go to user login servlet. Sir, here, user login SERVLET. user login servlet running on URL pattern user. Here. It is having one request object. It is having one request object. Request. Here, username is equal to nit.v. Password is equal to mju672. Now you know, no? Right. You must take one user login DAO. User login DAO. In this user login DAO, return type is user bin login, passing the request. Pattern is same like admin login only. Now, here one bean object is created. One bean object created. The bean is user bean. User bean object. One user bean object. When the login is successful, the data will come from the database and record here. So one bean object. One address I am writing here to bind that address in the session. Now, this user bean will send the status to the servlet. UB. Now, whenever the UB is null, okay. Sir, UB is null. Null means login failed. Today, null means output should come in the form of JSP page. Here, JSP should come. Understood now, right? Login fail.jsp. If not, you can take a name as response.jsp. Some name I'm taking, some name. So this response.jsp will give the output. How the output will come means invalid. Whatever the message you given by the servlet, JSP will give it. Invalid login process. Invalid login process. Again, admin login and user login should come. Again, it should come or not now? Admin login and user login should come. User login, or instead of that, you can take user login.html also, you can take it, but I'm sending the control to home.html. I'm sending. Okay, right. So admin login I'm sending. Now this is the response. Suppose UB is not null. If it is not null, HTTP session object is created. If it is not null, one session object is created, means session created 0x56 roughly. One HTTP session created. This HTTP session implicit name is session. JSP can access this session. Now, this HTTP session is added with user bean. Logic I'm writing, same logic I'm writing. User bean object is here. UB is equal to some address 0x67. 0x67. Got it right? Now, after creating this session, it sends the output. Response will come. From here, response will come. That response in the form of one JSP. The JSP is user login dot JSP. Name will take same. HTML name, servlet name, JSP name, only dot extensions will be different. So that you can identify them very easily. User login dot JSP. Now, what is the response given out of it? The response is welcome. Welcome user. It is saying one welcome. Under this, it gives the options. You came here for what? User, we are maintaining product management. We are doing, right? View products. Inside that view product, by product, I'm going to give the logic to you. View products and logout. So, view products and logout. Two options I'm giving. Now, this is the output we are expecting from here. This is the output from JSP. This is one output from the JSP. This is one output from JSP. This is at present we are writing. So here what you must construct it now, sir? User login DAO we must construct first. Let us construct user login DAO. After that, let us construct user login servlet. Then we shall construct JSPs too and run the program. Whether JSPs are giving the response or not, we are going to cross check it. All of you got it right? Right. Let me try this. Now user login DAO. User login DAO dot Java. User login DAO dot Java. Right. Right click on test. New class. User login DAO. User login DAO. Import java.sql. We are passing request java x.servlet.http. Here public user bean UB is equal to null I am taking. So public return type is user bean and login of HTTP servlet request REQ RETURN return UB I'm taking. Now try catch. Exception E dot print stack trace here. Connection con is equal to db connection dot get con. Prepared statement PS is equal to con dot prepared statement. Here we are writing the query. Select star from user tab 52 where uname is equal to and password is equal to Now PS dot set string. Set string 1. REQ dot get parameter of uname. PS dot set string to REQ dot get parameter of password. Now result set RS is equal to PS dot execute query. If RS dot next, all these logics you know already. So if it is successful, create one object for user bean and set the data. Bean dot set username rs dot get string of 1. What you observed here? So total logic in the servlet only, servlet beans concept only, the total logic is there. Only JSP is the response. JSP is nothing but connecting one file for the response. Bean dot set password rs dot get string from column number 2. Bean dot set first name rs dot get string from column number 3. Bean dot set last name rs dot get string from column number 4. Bean dot set address rs dot get string from column number 5. Bean dot set mail id rs dot get string from column number 6. Now bean dot set phone number rs dot get long from column number 7. Successfully we loaded the data from result set object to bean object, and we are sending the data to your servlet. Can I write servlet here? Right. So bean is ready, DAO is ready. We are constructing the user login servlet. We are constructing user login servlet. User login servlet dot java. User login servlet dot java. Right click on test. New class user login servlet. User login servlet. Right. Import java.io, import java x.servlet, import java x.servlet.http, import java x.servlet.annotation @web servlet double quotes / user. INIT method you must not write because that is executed only once. In the multi-user process, it create a problem. So in the normal coding, you don't write. Anyway, your practice will be on your Spring Flavor only. Because servlet, you practice this program once. Who are interested, you convert that applications into JSP's income for practice and code command, because manual coding is there, no? Right, manual coding. Generally, core Java trainers only unique in the market, because huge codes we only will write. Remaining all people will connect it, no? API connection, tool connection, they'll do. So logical, huge organizations we only will do generally. So you also, when you find time, you convert it. You find time, you convert it. Okay, right here. Now here extends HTTP servlet here, protected void do post, because the control is coming from HTML form. So HTTP servlet request REQ HTTP servlet response RES throws SERVLET servlet exception and IO exception. Don't write print writer, because servlet will not give response. Servlet will send a response to JSP. So here, what you must do now, sir, user bean, direct logic only. UB is equal to new user, yes, user login DAO dot login of request. Now, if that UB equal to null, right? Now, if it is a null, you can say, don't write message also. You must, sir, how message means, say, forward the message to JSP. How will forward means, set one message as an attribute to request. Message as an attribute to request, like this. REQ dot set attribute. One message I am putting here, message. The message is here, invalid login process. See what you observed here. JSP message also control not there. Servlet only writing the message and giving. Observed or not now? Have you seen this? Means JSP. Now my batch started JSP. No, management is thinking already. Venkatesh sir, batch over. They are thinking. So here message also servlet only constructing and giving. It added one attribute. Attribute means variable, no? One variable. The variable is assigned with one message. That's the meaning. Now, after assigning, I am forwarding the request now. Can I write request dispatcher directly? Can I write? Yes or no? Na? Means RHS I'll write. REQ dot get request dispatcher here. You are dispatching to whom now? Sir, I am dispatching to response.jsp. Response.jsp. Include a forward request and response. Don't write include, you are forwarding the control. Yes or no? Na? You are forwarding, not including. You are forwarding. Servlet is forwarding the request to JSP. Understood now? Now JSP will take this request. Inside the request, one attribute will be there. JSP will take that attribute and print the message. That's the meaning. Suppose if it is UB, some data is there. Okay, right? UB, some data is there means same. Add that UB to session, create session. HTTP session. HS is equal to REQ dot get session, creating session, and adding HS dot set attribute. See how attribute is playing a role. Have you observed? Right. Sir, UB, user bean, same name I am taking for flexibility purpose. Now I added one attribute to your session. I am forwarding. See there. Again, you have to forward to whom now? Sir, forward to user login.jsp. This is forwarding to user login.jsp. It is forwarding here. Now here, REQ dot request dispatcher forwarding the control to user login.jsp dot forward request and response. All of you understood this coding? Says or no to me now, right? Now Sir, print writer not available. Because your other said print writer is not automatically instantiated. We only create by using res dot get writer. Whenever you want to create, if not to skip it. In MVC model, print writer not there. So given the control to JSP. Now servlet is over. Servlet done everything. Everything is done. Servlet only created that DAO object. DAO object created a bean object. And the servlet took that bean object and created session and added. Means what? Everything done by the servlet, because servlet is a controller. Everything is under my control only, servlet says. I only created DAO. I asked DAO to create user bean. After user bean, I took that address. I only created session and I added the bean there. Means everything I only done. That is called servlet. Your Spring MVC, people will say that is called controller servlet, they'll say. Servlet, the name is controller servlet, they'll say. If not a servlet dispatcher, they'll say. Dispatcher servlet, servlet dispatcher. If not controller servlet, like this, the terms they'll use it. Because servlet only must do everything. Now, once it is over, now we are going here. Now, user login dot JSP, same names I'm taking. User login dot HTML, user login dot JSP, user login dot servlet, user login dot DAO, means all same names only. Okay, right. User login dot JSP. Now we are going for JSP. So where you should create JSP now? Under web app. Right click on web app, new. Here JSP file is there. Here user login dot JSP, user login dot JSP. Click on finish. Now this is JSP page. Right. Now inside this, sir, we are going to take that user bean outside because I must print no user bean available in the session. Okay, right. Whenever I'm using a user bean object, I must import user bean class, no, right? Import is equal to test dot user bean. I'm importing. Now I'm writing normal servlet code. I'm writing. So normal servlet code means scriptlet tag. Yes or no? Na? Right. First you have to access that user bean. You have to access user bean UB is equal to, you are taking the attribute outside. So user bean, whenever you want to access the session, implicit name is there, no? Session dot get attribute. What is the attribute name now? UB. All of you understood this line? Yes or no? Na? Right. Sir, from this session, session object name is there, no? Session. The session is the term, sorry, implicit object name used by the JSP. Session dot get attribute of UB. UB came, no? Right. After UB came here, now here. Now, here. UB came here. Now print it. What will print it now? Sir, welcome, I should print out. For this only. If you want to write HTML code, you can write any color is there. You want, you can write it. You can set one HTML tag. I'll show that also. Anyway, now I'm writing normally out dot print ln here welcome. Welcome user UB dot get first name is coming. The point. Came no, right? Sir, under this view profile logout should come. Means you must include login.html. Sir, instead of including that file, you only can write anchor tag, no, sir, here. We can write anchor tags directly or not. Yes or no, na? So here only, instead of calling one file for you and including, you can write anchor tags directly here. So here, what is there now? Admin login. Huh? One is user login. One is admin login. That is a flexibility. You can write here only, sir. HREF. Sorry, not user login. View products. View products. Here, logout. Logout. So instead of calling that all file here, you only can write 1-2 lines here. HREF is equal to view. I can take and HREF is equal to logout. You can write. You can write HTML code very easily here. All of you got this point now, right? So the response is ready. Over. What is the next response now? Next response is this only response dot JSP. So let us construct one more response dot JSP. Response dot JSP. Right click on web app, new, one JSP, response dot JSP. Click on finish. In the response dot JSP, I am not using any bean. I am not using any bean. In the response dot JSP, what is happening now? Through request, one message is coming. That is invalid login process. One message is coming. Take that message. I will take it now. Scriptlet. In the scriptlet, one message is coming. What message is coming now? String. Some message is coming. This is attribute. You have to convert it. The attribute available in the request, no? Right. What is the implicit name of request now? Request dot get attribute. Request dot get attribute. 1 minute. Get attribute. Okay. What is the name now? Message only. Message came or not now? Display it now. Sir, out dot print ln. You write message here directly. After message, you write br. Sir, below that, again one anchor tag, sir. Again one anchor tags are here. Anchor tag is what now? Again, the control should go to user login, admin login. You can go. HREF is equal to here user login dot HTML. Here HREF is equal to admin login dot HTML. Right. All of you understood up to here? Right. Okay. Now let me run it. Before running, web.xml. In web.xml, we had home.html. We are going to keep it. Under this webinf, new and other XML. Here, web.xml. Web.xml. Web app. Welcome file list. Welcome file. Here, home.html. The starting file is home.html only, no? Right. Okay. Now run it. Run as, run on server. Click on finish. User login, admin login, go with user login, login. Welcome user Venkat, view products and logout. Came or not now? Sir, output difference is not coming, but internally we separate it. So bean is there, DAY is there, servlet is there, JSP is there. Presenting your application with 3 layers separately is known as the MVC. So tomorrow, what I will show means, if I click on view product, from there, how to buy the product, I'll write the logic. And moreover, when you're presenting the data, how to write HTML code there, I'm going to educate it. That's the point. Okay, right. Tomorrow I'll continue it. This program I'll add it to you. You run it and come once, right? Take a break for today.